Hi, Mermaid Junkies. I hope you're doing well. Okay, listen, I have some shit to talk about. Okay, so I know I've been vacant for a while. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm not going to be like, oh, great, this is wonderful. Because I really want to talk about something that has been weighing on my mind all morning, okay? Now, everybody and their mother is going to come out of the word work, right? With these celebrities committing suicide, right? And it's mostly attached to depression. So, I'm going to preface a few things and then I'm going to get to my point, which is going to be several things that I'm going to touch on. And I want to actually remember everything that I'm saying because you know me, I have a tendency to ramble and I want to get my point across. I'm going to be out of alignment in this video probably, okay? I'm going to, go from all these different emotions. I'm sure that I am. I might cuss a lot or might not cuss hardly at all. But guess what? I just want to preface that all this shit's going to go down. So if you're not wanting to hear what I'm going to say, because it's going to be very cold, may seemingly be to some people cold, insensitive, very aggressive or whatever. You're going to take it however you want because you're on a certain vibration, right? So I'm going to try to be this way and talk to you very, very logically, emotionally, with a lot of emotion, and share my personal experience with you. And there might be times that I get off of my kilter, you know what I mean? Like I just start getting out of alignment. And I think that that's normal to happen when there's a subject that you're passionate about, or there's something that you really resonates with you and you really have the sense of wanting to explain from a different perspective, okay? So this is my subjective opinion. It's my subjective viewpoint and paradigm. That does not mean that it's going to resonate with you. It does not mean that it's going to resonate with anyone. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of people that are getting riled the fuck up and want to tell me to go screw myself, or that I'm some lunatic, or I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I don't care about those people. If there's anything that I've learned, I don't give a rat's ass what people think about me. As a matter of fact, I don't even read your comments if you say mean shit to me, especially like on Facebook. I don't pay attention to it. I don't even go back. I make my peace, make my point, and then walk away from it. I have no emotional ties into the whole point of me listening to what you're going to say against me or after I make my point. Does that make sense? Because I'm selfish that way. I don't really care what y'all have to say, except for the people that I'm going to resonate with and the people that actually are going to get something out of this fucking video, okay? That's the reason I always do what I do on this channel. So if you're not interested in any of those things, because I'm going to talk about depression and I'm going to talk about suicide, two things that I have been experienced myself and as well as close people in my life. So I'm not going to talk about all the other things that can kind of be brought into that. I'm going to talk about what I know, okay? And what I've experienced for myself. The rest of the shit, I don't really care about. I'm not going to get involved in that right now. Here's things that I really want to make a preface about. When people are committing suicide, or they are thinking about committing suicide because they're depressed. I come from a family that has a long line of massive depression, mental illness, schizophrenia, like really negative shit, okay? Now, I don't know anything about schizophrenia too much. All I know is that there's a lot of times when you're depressed, and I'm speaking from my own opinion about myself that I've experienced this, is that you come from a place of repression. You come from a place of being depressed because you can't feel your emotions. You have either been told that it's inappropriate, you have been pushed down, controlled, outsources have made you feel bad if you get depressed, that they don't like you depressed. I can guarantee you they fucking like you depressed more than they like you being like me, a loudmouth motherfucker that wants to tell people how it really is. People don't like that neither because they're like, shut her up, she's talking too much, right? Because nobody wants to fucking hear the truth. That's the problem with this, most people in life. or they're sentimental and they're emotional and sensitive and they can't handle it. And that's the other thing that I want to talk about the suicide aspect. Okay, so I've experienced, and like I even posted on Facebook, and this is going to go on my YouTube channel, but I posted on Facebook that there was a time in my life, for the most part of my life, that I thought about committing suicide probably 10 times or more a day, okay? The only fucking reason that I never killed myself at the time, because I looked pretty from the outside. That's the whole mermaid mindset where I come from, is that everything looks pretty on the outside, right? She's a beautiful person on the outside because it's a farce in the fucking inside, right? I mean, think about the mermaid mindset. Everything from the top surface looks normal. She's a beautiful human being, right? But she's fucking living with scales and she's half human on the bottom. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but like if you can kind of understand the analogy that I'm going with, is that it's an illusion, okay? And so until you are able to be flaws and all, and you can see like the mermaid with the scales that are ripped apart, that's why all my mermaids have patches on them, because we've had hell of a lives, you know what I mean? We as women have had hell of lives, but that doesn't mean we can't still be gorgeous and beautiful. Well, the reason that I struggled with depression so much and wanted to kill myself, is because I was so unhappy in my life. I was so fucking miserable that I couldn't see straight, and no one fucking wants to listen to you. They want to give you pills and shut you up. That's what they want you to do. Go lay somewhere, be quiet, because when you're depressed, no one wants to do it. You're no bother, right? You're laying on the couch, you're doing this, you're barely a mobile person. So as long as you can do that or be in some kind of fucking trance, nobody's having to deal with you. You're not expressing your emotions, you're not getting upset, you're pretty much just mellow the fuck out. You know, you're taking anxiety pills, you're taking the nerve pills, you're taking all these pills. It's going to cause you to go, exactly what most people around you that don't want to live with truth and don't want you to feel emotions, that's how they want you, in that catatonic state. Is that catatonic? Is that the word? I don't know. Anyway, so like I said, the only reason that I didn't commit suicide is because I was scared of what my mommy taught me my whole life, which was, you're going to go to hell and burn for an eternity if you fucking kill yourself. Is that really what you want to do, Raquel? You want to live with the devil? That's the only reason I didn't fucking kill myself. And you know what? If the truth be known, how many of you are sitting around not killing yourself? And I'm not saying that this is all for kill yourself. That's not what I'm fucking saying. I'm saying that the main reason that people want to kill themselves is because they are not feeling emotions and pain. They're not feeling shit, and they're just walking around in this state of like, I need to fucking feel better. How am I going to feel better? You know what I mean? That's why people do whatever they do. That's why you fuck people. That's why you get in fights. That's why you drink. That's why you get angry with people. That's why you do anything. That's why you go on a vacation. That's why you buy shit. That's why you move to places. That's why you date people. That's why you want money. That's why you do everything in life. That's why you get drunk. That's why you shoot up. That's why you cut yourself. That's why you do everything, because you want to feel better. When you have no other feelings of knowing that there's an alternative to feeling better besides feeling your fucking feelings, for once, you're going to think suicide is the only way out. Listen, I understand that. My ex-husband tried to kill himself twice that I know of. That in the heat of that moment, instead of being like, oh, and consoling him, I fucking went nuts on him. I was like, what are you fucking doing? You're an idiot. You're that much of a fucking coward that you can't even deal with your own fucking problems. We all have fucking problems. Just so you know, 411, we all have problems, but we're not all killing ourselves, okay? Deal with your shit and move the fuck on. And the thing that made me so mad is I'm like, you're not even trying to kill yourself, right? Did you even Google that shit? Like, I was so in the heated of anger And not anger that I'm like thinking about what I was going to deal with, right? Because how many times do we hear people that know of people that kill themselves, and the first thing I think out of their mouth is, they're so selfish. How could they do that? They didn't think about so and so and so and so. No, because when we're all selfish, you guys, this is what people don't fucking get. Everyone in the world is selfish. You can put a label on it and you can pretend that you have this mask of formality and you've given it a pretty title because you don't want to believe that selfish is not a bad word. Guys, actually, it's not a bad word. Think about when children come to the earth, they're babies. Some people that are distorted in their mind think, oh, that child's a spoiled, rotten, selfish brat, right? Actually, that means we came that way. A baby is not caring if they're in a public place, right? And they need to take a nap. You take them to Walmart and it's their nap time and they're fucking pitching a fit because they don't want the crackers. They don't want what you're trying to give them. They don't want to be amused. They want a fucking mattress because they're tired and they want to sleep. Well, they're going to let you know about it, whether they're screaming, pitching a fit, being an ass, in your opinion. But guess what? They're being selfish because they want what they want. Just like you do. You want them to shut up, right? So you're going to do whatever it takes because you're selfish, right? To get them to be quiet. Okay, so see, what you're doing is what most people do is they mask their selfishness and act like they're these, saints or something. Like selfishness is a bad thing. Think about anybody that commits suicide. They're not, well, what am I going to do if they kill themselves? Once again, they're not thinking of you when they're killing themselves, okay? They're not thinking about you. They could give two rats' ass. They want to feel better, okay? The other thing is, once again, you're thinking selfishly because you're thinking about yourself when they're killing themselves. Do you get what I'm fucking saying? Like, is this not... Do people not fucking understand? Can no one see this? Am I the only fucking one sitting there going, I understand what it's like. My son bought a gun last year and was going to blow his head off. Okay, he actually went to all these things. Well, his dad, at the time, obviously we were divorced, and it's not that I don't love my children. It's not that I don't love anybody that has committed suicide. It's not that I have this cold-hearted nature about it. It's just that from being in the state of where I was going to kill myself and knowing other people that are close to me have done it, like in my family, okay, that I understand it. I understand. I'm not holding that against them. And I know it sounds, well, it's so final, Raquel. How could you be so cold-hearted? What a cold-hearted bitch you are. No, it's not, because I don't believe that you are actually going to die in this eternity of flames with the devil and to be in hell for an eternity. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that there is not a place that you're not coming back to. I don't believe in death. I think that we just transition into another form. I don't believe in that. So do I think that these people are coming back? Yeah, I believe they're all going to be reincarnated. Does that make it different because their physical bodies aren't here? Yes. I'm not talking about fucking when people die. I'm talking about when people commit suicide. I'm just saying that I understand about the selfishness of it. And if you want to call it whatever you want, that's totally fine and dandy with me. I don't care. And you can call me whatever you want too. I don't care about that either. I'm trying to explain to people that actually want to hear a different perspective of it, that maybe you can understand that it's not about you. It's not, just accept. Okay? Yeah, that's not to say you're going to be fucking pissed as hell at them or that you don't go through all those ramifications of feeling that way. But just own it. It's okay. And the other reason that I wanted to talk about suicide is because I truly believe that being on both sides of the spectrum with this is that it's because we don't want to just accept that we have, like, it's okay that we have shit. It's okay that our lives are fucked up, or we came from a bad childhood, or we were abused, or we came from an abusive relationship, or, I mean, put any kind of label on it you want. Everybody's dealing with shit, okay? But just don't be afraid to share your authentic voice with people. Don't be afraid. Don't be fearful of telling your story. Don't be afraid to tell so-and-so that, you know what? I don't want to fucking live with you anymore. You're a dumbass and a fuckface and I want a divorce. Don't be afraid. That's the reason people want to kill themselves and commit suicide, because they feel like they can't be heard, or they are fearful of what's going to happen. Like there is no other way out. They feel closed and trapped, that there is no other way. And I'm just here to say that there is another way. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Own your fucking problems. Be responsible. Take accountability. Own your shit. Who cares if you have problems? I have problems. Joe Schmo has problems. My ex-husband had problems. My son has problems. Still has problems. You can label it schizophrenia. I've heard them all. I've heard them and been labeled and diagnosed, all of them. You're bipolar. You have this. You have that. You're mentally unstable. You're this, whatever. You know what? It's because now I can share my truth that some people will still call me crazy. They will say, see, she needs to be put in a home, or she needs on medication. I've had it. My ex-husband even told me that. Oh, now that you've gotten like this, you need medication. You need to go see a counselor. Like I care what you fucking think about me? That's the reason that I was fucking depressed to begin with, is because I listened to everyone else telling me how to live my own fucking life. And I can bet that if you're like me in any capacity, maybe 5%, 1%, that you're tired of people telling you how to fucking live, and that you're wrong for doing this. You feel that way, you should be shameful. You're selfish. You should feel bad about that. You're this way. You're that way. You shouldn't be so happy. You shouldn't be this way. You should feel guilty. You should be of more service to people. You should be in church. You should be repenting of your sins. You're going to go to hell. Do you understand all the things that you're doing wrong, and how you're so disconnected from God, and Jesus can save you and deliver you. You know, people that are seeing this right now that are holier than thou, religious people mostly. And I'm saying that because I was in 2 religions. You can find more fucking spiritual people aligned in a coliseum on Sunday at a football game than you can in a church. I'm just here to tell you, I'm not demented. I'm not devilish. I'm not any of those things. I'm telling you like it is. And the people that don't want to hear what I have to say, I scared the fuck out of them. That's what it is. They don't want to hear it because they're afraid as fuck. They're so afraid. But guess what? I don't fear anything. I don't fucking fear death. I don't fear anything. Now, mind you, I attract everything that comes into my reality, okay? So I totally get that as well. But if I'm not putting out thoughts that are bad, negative, and all that, and I'm always trying to do good and help people, that shit comes back to you, okay? You can call it karmic, you can call it whatever, but it's like attracts like. It's the law of attraction. So if you want to call me those things and you want to put those labels on me, just remember that shit's going to come back on you, not me. Because when you're judging me, you're actually hurting yourself, not me. I'm just trying to be of service for my channel. And there's nobody fucking talking about this shit. Not in the way that it needs to be talked about. Not in the way that it needs to be said like, you know what? You have problems and you cut yourself and it makes you feel good for 30 minutes later. And after you've bandaged your shit up. And I get emotional because I fucking understand. And you think 30 minutes later, well, a week after you got out of the shower and those fucking scabs hurt because you can't fucking shave your legs, or you can't wear a short sleeve shirt because you fucked your arms up so much. Fucking deal with your problems differently. I mean, stop doing that. Stop doing that. I mean, are you trying to make a point with fucking cutting yourself? It doesn't fucking work. You guys, it doesn't fucking work. It's just a constant more reminder every fucking day you look at yourself. All I'm saying is you just have to feel your feelings. Girls, you have to feel your feelings. Okay? I mean, I understand. Maybe you're fucking molested your whole life from your fucking dad or your uncle or some other dumb fuck face that your mom drug in the fucking house on a weekly basis or and left you there. She fucking did it. He fucking did it, okay? Get over it. It fucking happened. You can't keep living that shit. You're creating this story by keep reliving the past. You have got to move forward. Move the fuck forward, girls. It's your story, okay? But it doesn't have to define you. My stories are not fucking defining me. They come to the surface because when I'm talking about this, I fucking want to make you feel. That's what I want to do because people didn't make me feel. You've shut that shit down. You don't want to feel, so you put walls up and you do every fucking thing you can so you don't have to feel it. But it's okay. It's actually a relief once you feel it. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And I say that probably because I'm more trying to talk myself down from that, that in order to do that, you have to go through all that, like that little inner child work, Even if you're 17 or you're 19, and I know you're young, like millennials are watching this, you have your whole life ahead of you, right? If you're living till you're 80 years old, you fucking have your whole life. You have 2 of my lifetimes because I'm probably going to be out in another 40 years or something. I probably won't live longer than 80 something. I don't know. But I'm just saying that just, doing harmful things to you is not going to make you feel, it'll make you feel better. Yeah, it'll fucking make you feel better for 30 minutes or it'll make you, as long as you get high or whatever, it'll make you feel good for a while. You can get drunk and that'll keep making you feel better, but you're going to just keep plummeting. Like it just will keep happening. You wake up with that shit. It's still there. The fucking problems, unless you're loving yourself internally, it's fucking not going anywhere. It's going to keep coming back. And if anything, I don't want you to be numbed out. Just be numbed out like I was for so long. If you don't like that fucking dickhead that beat the shit out of you last weekend after y'all got drunk, fucking put his ass to the road. You can do it. Or if she's a bitch and she's blaming you for every fucking thing because you don't want to be faithful to her because you would like to play the field, then get the fuck out. What are you still in a relationship for? Love yourself enough to get out and say, you know what? I want to sleep with a lot of women. I don't want to be tied down. Because maybe you have your own mommy son things you got to work out. And that's okay. That's cool. It's like, let everybody fucking live their lives. Stop trying to hold people down, control people, control conditions, control everything so that you're going to feel better. Because that shit don't work. And I know this started out like a suicide and a depression thing. And it went, like, I already forewarned you guys. I was going to go from A to fucking Z, okay? But I do it because I want you to, and I did this because I could have waited and meditated and got back into alignment, put some makeup on and be cute, but I'm not fucking like that and I'm not going to be fake. And so I was going off of real emotions when somebody said something to me and it fucking turned a light switch on me and I was like, oh, okay, so this is raw emotion. This is exactly how I feel. This is the things that I've dealt with. I have had that happen closely, right? And like I was saying last year when my ex-husband, like when I found out through his siblings, and I know my son's always, he has been categorically, said that it was, depression and bipolar. and all that kind of stuff, especially like when he went and served a mission and everything. But you know what? I mean, I'm not going to live in regret like how I raised him, because people might say, well, it's because of how you raised him and da whatever. You know, no, I'm not taking accountability for that. Like, I'm sure that there was some shit that I did was messed up as a mom, okay? I tried to do my best. I wasn't perfect. No one's fucking perfect. Who cares? But now my son is in his late 20s. It's time to deal with shit. It's time, or he's going to take himself out. And that doesn't mean I don't love the fucking ground my kids walk on. But I love him independently enough to know I love him like God loves him. And that means I'm not taking personal offense if he's going to decide that he needs to kill himself to make himself feel better. That's the only thing I'm saying. That takes some, you know what, you can call me whatever you want, but you can't fucking call me somebody that doesn't love, because I love like there is no power to love. That's what true love is. When you can allow somebody, even though they're detrimental to themselves and they are hurting themselves every single day, day in and day out, you don't enable them. You don't give them a ticket. You don't inspire them to do anything except to find relief. The path of least resistance is what that person needs to do. And it's not for you to fucking judge them and tell them that, to guilt them, because that's what people are doing. Oh, well, you should feel guilty that you wanted to commit suicide, and then they have your shit to deal with. So if they didn't go through with it, right, then they've got your shit to have to deal with. Like, oh, then they're going to be mad at me if I don't actually go through with it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, once again, you're being selfish. And you're asking them not to be selfish. Does that make sense? I hope that you guys get that. Because that's a real slap in the face for some people that are like, oh, okay, maybe chew on that shit for a while and then come back to me, okay? When I learned, I know I'm getting to the point, when I learned that my son had bought a gun and that he was actually going to do it on this particular weekend, and his dad was in hysterics and we need to do this and round the clock watching and and stressed out and whatever. Listen, I know why he didn't want me to know, because he wanted to believe that he was taking care of everything. The second thing is that this isn't about my ex-husband. This wasn't about anyone. This was about my son. And my son knows that I would say, just like I've said with all my kids and with anybody that knows me now, this wasn't me 3 years ago, but now that I've learned and had everything taken from me, or, basically lost everything, that there's nothing that I fear. Like, I don't fear abandonment. I don't fear not having a dime. I don't fear anything. And the reason is because I know the universe, God, has my back. So I don't really have to have anybody else in my life. Do I need them? No. Would I love to have them in my life? Absolutely. Do I love my son that, was going to try and commit suicide? No. You know what I told him? This is the exact, and I wish I actually still do have it, but I'm not going to read it verbatim because it's kind of long. But basically what I was saying to him was, I get it. I totally understand. Like, I'm not going to sit here and talk you off the fucking ledge, dude. And this is how I talk to my son. I'm not going to talk you off the ledge. If you're going to fucking do it and you really want to do it, you will do it. You will find a way. Just like with anything anybody wants to do in life. You want to cheat on your wife. You want to cheat on your husband. You want to, dabble in, breaking the law. You want to do whatever. You want to be a drug dealer. You want to do this. You want to, do check fraud. You're going to figure out a way to do it. No one's going to keep you from doing it. But I just told him, I said, I'm not going to try and keep you from doing it. I'm not going to have, the suicide hotline or the police officer come over there to your apartment to make sure that you're still well and doing okay. I'm not going to call people and ask them to pray for you. I'm not doing all that fucking shit. Just know that I love the hell out of you and I want you to be happy. And if there's anything that I could possibly do for you within my power, emotionally, You know, like if you want to talk to me, you want to talk to anybody, that's perfectly fine. You don't want to talk to anybody, write it in your fucking journal. Do whatever you need to do to feel better. Go get drunk for the weekend because he's never drank in his life or anything. I said, do what you need to do to feel better, because that's really all what it's about. You know, and I mean, he didn't say much except for thank you so much, Mom, with the heart emoji. And that was it. Now, did I know whether he was going to do it or not? No. I figured at some point I'd get a phone call if that was the case. And I sound like I'm very disconnected and cold-hearted, but that's not what it is at all. It's because I have a love that's unconditional. And I have a love that's not like a lot of people. Most people live conditionally loving people. And you guys know well enough conditional and unconditional love and how much I've talked about it on my channel. And that's what we need to get to, is loving people unconditionally. Don't be attached to people. Don't be attached in the way that you need them, or I miss you, or I have to have you in my life. It's so needy. That's not empowering spiritually for you as a person. And it's not healthy. It's not healthy to be so dependent on someone else. It's just completely unhealthy. To be selfish is a beautiful thing. And we need to change the direction of how people look at that word. It's not a bad word. And I got to the point to where I was so tired of people saying, you know, even my kids tried that at one time when I was leaving the marriage. You're being completely and utterly selfish. And you know what I said to them? You're exactly right. You're exactly right. I am being selfish because I love me. And everybody loves themselves more than they love anyone else. I mean, just look at the, you know, your niece that's a heroin addict, or your daughter that's a heroin addict, or I'm just picking those things arbitrarily, but I'm just saying, you know, this Anthony Bourdain and this Kate Spade, they both had young children that were in their, you know, like one was 11. I think Anthony's daughter was 11 years old. And Kate's daughter is, 13? And ultimately, they're like, oh, well, you didn't think about, the poor daughter or whatever. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, they still, because they needed to feel better for so deeply, that they weren't thinking about their daughters. Sorry, I know that seems insensitive or whatever, but that's the truth. They weren't thinking about them. He wasn't thinking about his girlfriend that was in the hotel with him on location. No one, they're not thinking of other people. The drug addict that's shooting up is not thinking, oh, I'm going to hurt my mama's feelings because I'm going to steal $5,000 out of her account when she ain't looking. He or she is not thinking that. They're thinking, how do I feel better? This is going to get me to that state of feeling better. So this is what I'm going to do. They're not thinking of those other people. In the end, you're always selfish, and it's not a bad thing. That was my fucking whole point. I hope you love this. If you don't, so be it. But I just know that how much I love you, how much I appreciate you guys, how much my channel has grown. I can't believe it. It's crazy. And I'm still, I'm working on my book tour and sponsorships and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I just wanted you guys to know how much I love you, and thanks for sticking by. If you want to subscribe to get my antics, you're more than welcome. And as always, I'm yours until my next swim. Ciao, ciao.